Tonight's the night. But it's never going to happen ever. Ever again! Ah! Welcome back to my final Dexter New Blood review. Episode 10, Sins of the Father. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Whew. A lot to unpack here, a lot to discuss. Let's get right into it. 3 big yays and then 3 big nays, but also probably a lot of big sads. Yeah, it's a new segment because I've got a lot of emotions right now, and a lot of them are very sad. Big yay number 1. Angela arrests Dexter. So, the episode starts, and we're having a good family time. Dexter's looking back on all the other characters, all the side characters of the show, and he's reminiscing. He's like, this is why I came to Iron Lakes, this small little town. Look at all these little side characters that haven't been in the show since episode 3. Look at how happy they are. Look how nice they are. They're all helping me out with my burnt house. Look, they're all so nice and generous. And he names them all. I'm like, none of these characters have been in the show since episode 3. I barely remember them, Dexter. I don't care. This feels very much like you're setting yourself up to be so happy that maybe something tragic and awful is going to happen to you at the end of the episode, Dexter! No! Stop setting yourself up like this, Dexter! Ah! So Angela and Dexter, they're alone. The kids have gone out for a second, and she's just staring at him, giving him this little glare. And I'm like, just tell him! Just tell him! You know he's the Bay Harbour Butcher! Just tell him! And then, just out of nowhere, she pulls a gun, and she's like, get on the ground, Dexter Morgan! Get on the goddamn ground! And I'm like, ah! Oh, it's happening! Guys, red alert, it is happening. Shit is getting very real, very quickly. Oh my... I have a lot of emotion. I've just watched the episode. There's a lot going through my brain. So if most of this is me crying and screaming, I do apologize. And she's got him on the ground. In the reflection of the knives, you see him with the gun, and he's just looking at those knives, and you're like, oh boy, oh my god, is Dexter going to unleash? Are we finally going to get Dexter Unchained? This is all I wanted in season 8, was Dexter go crazy and kill somebody innocent to survive and escape, but it doesn't happen then, and we get a really, really intense interrogation scene where she's like, state your name for the record. And he's like, Jim Lindsay. She's like, not funny, Dexter Morgan, state your name. And he's like, Dexter Morgan. Admitting it on camera to the cops like that was just exciting, and just the goosebumps I had over my body. Usually I sit on the couch like this most of the episode, just kind of being like, I'm enjoying, I'm comfy. I was up against the TV, just holding it, just being like, oh my god, it's happening, it's finally happening! We get some amazing interactions with Angela and Dexter, and it's all just kind of coming out. But what I found really, really funny with the opening interactions in the interrogation is Angela's like, this is why you killed Matt. And Dexter's like, what about this, and this? And he kind of immediately pokes all these holes in her theory, and it's like, well, we know he did it. But it's funny how, I'm thinking about as a jury member, sitting there being like, well, she said it like this, but he said all these things, and the holes and the poking, quite effective, quite surprisingly effective. And then he's just like, what about Kurt as the murderer? And then he lays all these reasons why it could be Kurt, and it's like, that's pretty much as strong as her case. It's pretty funny how he's able to kind of weasel his way out of this. And then she's like, no. I'm not having any of this bullshit anymore. You're the Bay Harbour Butcher. I know it. And then she just says it. And Dexter's like, but he's holding himself. He's not letting it slip. I can see it in the back of his mind, working. But he's not letting it slip facially yet. And then she's like, one of your old buddy boys is coming to town. Angel Batista. And then he just you can just see his face turn a little bit. Exceptional acting by Michael C. Hall. He's always bringing his A game, but this was particularly exciting. Just seeing that moment where he just goes, you called who? You called who, Angela? How dare you? And it's exciting, it's enthralling, it's amazing. And then he's like, turn the cameras off. Turn them off and I will reveal everything. And then we get this incredible moment where he's like, what if I told you everything you said was true? And she's like, are you... He's like, no. What if I told you everything you thought about Kurt was true? And then he goes on, Kurt's a monster, he's got a trophy bunker, he's the doll maker, all these kind of things, amazing stuff. And then she's like, God damn it, Dexter, I gotta go check it out, you son of a bitch. And I love that moment of her just being like, damn it, I can't not check that out, but how dare he have like a reason for me to leave this room, and oh, how dare he! Oh, Dexter, you cheeky, sneaky little son of a bitch. Oh, it was all very exciting, very amazing stuff very early on. I was just like, I couldn't handle it. And then he's like, gets that moment where Harrison comes into the room and they're hugging and embracing. They're like, we're going to escape. Because earlier in the episode, he's like, we're going to escape out of Iron Lakes. Which is such a... This show's set in Iron Lakes. You're not, like, we're not leaving Iron Lakes, dude. Like, you saying that, that's either going to not work or it's over. And... So he's hugging Harrison, and they're all like, it's all beautiful, and like, oh, I'm just remembering that Christmas episode where they're all wearing ugly sweaters and they're having such a fun time as serial killer father and son. It's just, oh, so beautiful. He's like, we'll get out of this. The world needs us. Oh, Dexter, you self-righteous psychopath. I love you. I need you, Dexter. If the world doesn't need you, at least I need you. I hope that means something, Dexter. Oh, boy, I loved it. So, every single moment of this episode just kept building up this moment of like, something's gonna crack. Like, it's just, he's too like, we're gonna get out of this. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be good. I can do it. I can slip through the cracks one more time. I can, I felt like that plot armor that had a big issue in the back half of the original series. I feel like he's not wearing that plot armor anymore. He's like running into battle naked with a sword, and I'm just like, dude, where's the armor, bro? You're getting it down! Big yay, number 2. Angel is back, baby! Yeah! Oh, ever since episode 5 with the shock cameo of Angel, I've just been sitting here. Like, every episode, I'm like, it's a little nitpick, but, that's a big nay. Angel's not in the episode. And every episode, I'm like, once, okay, 2, 3. When's Angela gonna call him? When's she gonna be like, hey, Angel, Dexter, your best friend that, died? Well, actually, he's my boyfriend, and he's alive. Also, I think he's the Bay Harbour Butcher. When is this moment happening? When is this moment happening? And, episode 8, I'm like, I feel like now, episode 5 was so long away, maybe he's just not in it. Maybe he was just in that cameo. Whatever. And then episode 9 was just so good, I'm like, you know what? I don't even really think I want him or need him. Oh, I do, but, I was like, I'd accepted that maybe he's not going to rock up. Episode 9 really reinforced that it's the Harrison Dexter story. New blood. Harrison, the new blood. This is a new, different thing. Angel was a fun little cameo. He doesn't need to play a part in this final season, final episodes. Oh, joyous, joyous world. Just the I could barely speak. It was so exciting. When she's sitting on the car outside being like, oh, this whole situation, it's really got me riled up. And then she's like, screw this. God damn, screw this. And she's running back inside. She picks up the phone. I'm like, what's going on? It didn't even occur to me. He's just so far out of my mind at this point. Angel? It's Angel with an A. He's like, what? It's Angela. It's me, Angela. And he's like, I'm sorry. I was flirting with you, but I'm actually happily married. Great to hear that Angela's happily married. That warms my heart. But then she calls and she's like, Dexter, alive. Check your bloody email, mate. He's like, checks the email. And he's just like, oh, how beautiful it was just to have this incredible, insane moment where Angela's just looking at his computer and Angela's just there with Dexter. He's like, where the bloody hell was this taken? And she's like, a couple of weeks ago or whatever. And he's like, not 10 years ago? Not when he was dead? And just before that, he's all with LaGuardia, mentioning LaGuardia and her theory about Dexter Morgan being the killer. And then she's like, oh no, she's murdered. Who murdered her? What happened? And he's like, we never caught the culprit. And it's all just ticking. Angela and Angel, it's all just clicking into their minds. Everything's working. Talking about Sergeant Dokes. And he's like, well, at the time I thought it was Sergeant Dokes, but now, I've had 10 years to reminisce on it. Seemed a bit sus. LaGuardia always thought it was Dexter, but Dexter's dead, so blah, 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 all these things. And it's all just clicking into place for all of them. And it's just, I know it's such a lame fanboy thing of you're mentioning characters from the original thing where they just say Dokes, they say LaGuardia, but it's not really just about them saying and name dropping the characters. It's the fact that in season 8, what I really wanted from the finale, from the end of the show, is for all these things, all the things he got away with. He frames Dokes. They think it's Dokes, but it's not Dokes. It's Dexter. I wanted them all to realize how wrong they've been for so long. Angel even says, he's like, oh, I sat next to Dokes for 10 years. I trusted him like a brother. Well, I want you to realize that you trusted him like a brother, and you should have trusted him. And then you turned, your mind turned on him when it was fake revealed that it was Dokes. But actually, the guy next to Dokes, Dexter, he was the real Bay Harbour Butcher. There's just so much tragedy and horror and heartbreak in that. I just wanted that to all come out on the table, and it finally coming out. Him being like, oh, LaGuardia had a theory. but she died. And we don't know who killed her. It's just... Angel, you would die inside if you realized Deb killed LaGuerta for Dexter. Like, I'm almost a little glad that that extra detail wasn't revealed to Angel, because he would have just died on the spot. Heart attack of shock and horror and just sadness. So, that's good. And then it ends with him holding the LaGuerta file, and he's holding it, and he's like, oh, Jax, you didn't think I was coming to Iron Lakes, but baby, I'm coming to Iron Lakes. Yes! Yes! Angel's coming to Iron Lakes. Big yay, number 3. Dexter escapes prison. So, Dexter, he turns off the camera. He convinces Angela that Kurt is a serial killer, awful man, evil man, and he leads her to the trophy bunker room that he's got. And so Angela's like, oh, damn, I'm gonna go. And so she goes off, and then it's just Dexter alone in the prison cell. The blue, ominous lighting in the cell room was just... intoxicating, so brilliantly shot, so beautiful, so ominous, so scary. I absolutely loved it. And that first shot where Dexter's just sitting there and we get the shadow of Deb as she talks to him, I loved it. One tiny little nitpick I would have had is I wouldn't have shown Deb. I would have just had the shadow there and then have him, so you just see the shadow, no actual Deb, no actual body, and he just screams like, shut up! And then it cuts to the wide and no one's there to really reinforce that no one's ever been there. It's just him going absolutely crazy. I think that would have worked a little more. Whatever. You want to have Deb the actor there. That's fine. Little nitpicks. But at this point, it's so exciting. It's like, he's in jail properly. What's going to happen? And then he's like, oh, bloody Logan. I remembered his name. I Googled it. But, Logan, I'm so parched. I've been talking all day. Having a bloody chat fest. And Logan's like, you son of a bitch. You goddamn Dexter Morgan. This guy. And he puts the bottle of water there in the little prison gap. Logan, buddy, you gotta watch more films. If you're a cop, you gotta watch some cop films. You gotta watch some crime films. Mate, never put your hand in that area. You just chuck the bottle of water in. If anything, you open the bottle of water, you just pour it in, you flick it at him, you do something like that. Logan, oh, you sweet, sweet wrestling coach cop man that I've never really cared about. You absolute fool, and I love you for it. He puts his hand there, bottle of water's there, and Dexter's like, oh, that's so very... Got your hand! Bloody hands! And then gets him up and he's all like... And Logan's like, oh no, you really are the Bay Harbour butcher or whatever he knows at this point. But he's just like, oh, Angela's right. Oh no, I'm getting a chokehold. It's all being like, oh, it's all bad. And I'm just sitting there being like, do it, Dexter. Do it. I have been waiting 10 years for you to kill an innocent man to escape. To prove that you really are just a psychopath. That the code really is just bullshit. Flimsy little fake vigilante code. A fake kind of sense of morality that you have. You are a psycho and you just love to kill. Kill him, prove it to me, prove it to the audience, prove it to the world, and get out of this because you value your own life over this innocent man. Please just do it for me. Please, I've been waiting 10 years for this. And he's struggling, he's like, Logan, don't make me do it. And I'm like, Logan... if you just give him the keys, I'm going to scream with anger. And then Logan goes to grab the gun. Bang, 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 bang. Snap. Now guys, if you've seen other reviews, you know that I say, I screamed, I jumped up with joy, I punched, it's like I'm watching the football, which I love. I watched this about 8 a.m. today on a Sunday. All my neighbours were probably like, what the bloody hell is going on in that house? What is going on in that house? That man has lost his mind. I screamed. I can't even do it. I'm going to break the mic. I was just like... The excitement, the joy I got from him murdering this man was unprecedented to anything I've ever felt. It was... I sound like a psychopath, but all I can say is 10 years. 10 years of wanting Dexter to kill an innocent man, to escape, to prove, to just... all the things I just said previously... I just really, really wanted, that's how I wanted season 8 to end. I wanted Dexter to be forced to, like, Masuka standing there, he's like, oh, Dexter, you're the Bay Harbour butcher! Something sexual pun. And Dexter's like, I'm so sick of that, Masuka. Slits his throat and he runs away! Something like that. That's what I always wanted. Would I have loved the moment where he kills someone to be someone, like, not Logan, and someone I cared about? Someone who wasn't just that cop wrestling coach dude that I was like, he's fine. But you know what? There isn't a single side character that I like more. He's the most developed, so it's him. It should be him. I can't really blame the rest of the season and just the fact that it's a short one and done season. You've only got 10 episodes to like introduce us to these characters. I had 8 years to love all these other characters like your Quinns, your Masukas, blah, 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 blah. So I can't blame New Blood for that. It has to be someone from New Blood that he did that to, so it's perfect as well because he has the connection to Harrison, which plays into something that comes later, so it works. But yeah, Dexter, blood on his face, escaping prison, finally, guys. I cannot stress how much I just was so excited that they finally did it. Clyde Phillips, have you fixed season 8 of Dexter? Mostly. But let's get to the end because maybe it didn't. What's so good about this situation as well is that Angela is like walking through the trophy room just like, oh my god, it's her, Molly, no! And it's so sad and heartbreaking, tragic, and such a culmination of everything, her whole arc, suddenly realizing Dexter was right. And I think she's probably presumed that Dexter has like killed Kurt at this point, but we never really get that full moment. But I love the fact that maybe when she comes back, he could have then convinced her, hey, I'm a vigilante, baby. I'm like Batman or whatever. And like all this kind of stuff that would have made her go, maybe I can't try him for murder. Maybe I can't do this, that. I mean, he brought to justice Iris's murderer after 25 years. He did. Dexter. I didn't. I've tried. Everyone. And all these little things where I'm like, maybe he could have convinced her. He was almost there. But him locked in that jail cell, just his brain ticking over. Just the horrible ideas that what could happen if he stays in that jail cell for any seconds longer. He just snapped and had to escape. So I really like that, and we'll never know if he could have convinced Angela, but he probably couldn't have. She's very hard and strong and down the line, and she didn't love him the way that Deb did, like as a sister, like, you know, for so many years before. So maybe it wasn't going to work, but I just love that possibility where you're like, oh, Dexter, what if you just waited in the jail cell? Maybe things would have gone differently. Really exciting, clever writing. Really love that aspect of it. Okay, so I first originally had this down as a big yay as well, but I really think this is more of a big sad. Big sad number 1. Dexter and Harrison have their final confrontation. So Dexter, he meets Harrison in the snow, and he's like, we're going to escape. We're going to kill all the serial killers of the world. We're vigilantes. We're not psychopath murderers. It's all good. Harrison, it's all good. And Harrison's like, blood? Whose blood? What's going on there? Wait, you called me off Logan's phone. Wait, is that Logan's blood? Did you kill Logan? And the final moment, the moment we've all been waiting for. Is he going to escape? Is he going to be killed? Is he going to be incarcerated? What is it going to be? And Harrison, does he have the dark passenger? Will he turn on Dexter? This, that, just all the questions, all the things, it's all right there in this moment. And then Harrison's like, nah. You killed Logan. He was innocent. You said this was all about killing people who deserve to die. But you're full of shit. And he calls Dexter on his bullshit. He calls him on the bullshit. Finally, after so many years, so many episodes of Dexter being like, Harry's code, it's why I do it. I kill the killers. I'm a good guy. No, you're not, Dexter. You're a psychopath and a murderer. Your father made you think you're doing the right thing. Bad dad, for one. Very bad dad. But you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're saving. You think you're saving innocent lives. But as you said to Lundy that one time, I didn't mean to save innocent lives. I just happened to save innocent lives. I'm paraphrasing. Whatever. But, it's like, Dexter. You're a self-righteous son of a bitch. You're not a vigilante. You're a psychopath who hides in his vigilantism. You, pretend you're a vigilante, but you're not. You want to kill. You love to vet. You love to hunt. It's all on the hunt. It's all on the ba-ba-ba. All the things. And you've just proven right now to me, to Harrison, to the audience, but most importantly, to Harrison, you're a psychopath. You're a murderer. You killed Logan, an innocent man, a good man. I mean, a boring guy, but a good man. Boring doesn't mean you're bad. For TV, it kind of does, but, let's pretend this is the real world. Boring doesn't mean you're a bad guy. Otherwise, most people would be bad guys. I love the wording Harrison has where it's like, he was an innocent man, but you killed him. You say you have this dark passenger, but he's not a passenger. He's bloody driving, Dexter. He's a driving passenger. And I'm like, Harrison, that's very fun wordplay. In such a dramatic, heightened state, you're still able to come up with quick, fun little wordplays. That's very classic Dexter. Like father, like son. I absolutely loved the moment where Harrison's like, I'm not like you. I don't have a dark passenger. I'm just angry. I'm just an angry, angsty teen. And it's like, yeah, you're pretty angsty, like an angsty teen. But then Dexter's like, no, you cut up that boy and you do this and you do that. He's like, no. I'm a bit heightened beyond the normal angsty teen. But I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a murderer. And I really love this because they finally embraced the biggest mistake of season 8 and of the whole original Dexter series with Dexter abandoning Harrison. And Harrison just calls him on it. He just bloody calls him. He's like, I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm pissed off because you abandoned me. And you didn't abandon me once in the season 8 finale. No. You abandoned me every single day. Every single day you didn't come and find me. Oh, brilliant stuff. I love how this season is just going. Season 8 absolutely ruined the character in every way. And we're here to punish him for it. Dexter is being properly and utterly punished for season 8, for his mistakes, his decisions. And it's so satisfying because I feel like this is something I didn't even realize didn't work for me so well, but it's just so annoying. I've always hated that he left Hannah to go off. He's like, I'm a serial killer with a code and this and that, and maybe my dark passenger isn't even there anymore. But I'll leave him. I'll just abandon him to go hang out with the other serial killer who sucks. But now it's all worth it. They fixed season 8 by just having Harrison be like, I'm calling in your bullshit, Dexter. You're a psychopath. This code you have, Harry's code, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And abandoning me, bullshit. I'm sick of it. I'm not having it. You've made me this angry, emotional psycho, and I wanted to be like you. But that moment last episode where all the blood's dripping out of the floor and Dexter's like, ha ha, I'm cutting up Kurt. Ha ha ha, I'm having such a time. Harrison had that little moment where he's like, this shit's cooked, bro. This is cooked. I'm not a psycho. I'm not chopping up body parts. Like, no. And I really love this. I love that it's like a beautiful embrace of the mistakes of Dexter in season 8, but it's also a really good way to kind of not make it like, Dexter, born in blood, the shipping container, born in blood. He saw his mother chopped up with body parts, so now he's chopping people up with body parts. And then it's like, okay, so his son, born in blood from the Trinity kill, is just going to kill people as well. Like, it's almost a little easy. It's like it's like father, like son. But I really like the idea that we think and we presume because born in blood, they're going to be the same. But Harrison is just like, no. I'm not this lost. I'm not this crazy. And I'm not going to let you be Harry to me being Dexter. I'm not going to let you Harry's code me or Dexter's code me into being like you. No. I'm taking a firm stand here and I will not be a part of this, Dexter. You're a monster and a psycho. And I'm having none of it. It was such a beautiful moment. Such a moment where it's like all the thoughts and feelings of Harrison, I think it all culminated in this beautiful moment with him. He's like, you gotta turn yourself in, Dexter. You gotta turn yourself in. Dexter's like, nah, mate. Bloody nah. I'm not doing any of that. And he goes to Walker, he's like, I'm getting out of Dodge. Time to be a lumberjack again. And then Harrison's like, remember that Christmas present you got me? Well, fucking Santa's here to collect. What? So Harrison, he's got the gun on Dexter, and Dexter turns around, and this moment I'm not really sure how I feel about because it feels like very easy, but he's like, think about all the things, would my mother be alive if you weren't a psychopath? And obviously we know that he kind of lied. He's like, I killed Trinity because she killed your mother. But no, you killed Trinity, you already killed your mother, so you're lying about all that, and yeah, Rita died because of your interactions with Trinity and all this kind of stuff. So it was like really great to see that she can come home to roost or whatever, but he's got the gun there, and he's all just like, think about all the awful, evil stuff you've done, Dexter, you son of a bitch. And Dexter's like, and he has all these flashbacks of all the characters that have died because of him, and he's just like, and just like that, like just a snap of the finger, and he's just like, oh, you know what? You're right. I am a piece of shit. I am a monster. You've got to end it now. Kill me. Suicide via Harrison. And this is the moment where I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know if this works. I'm really enjoying the episode all the way up to now, but I'm just like, this feels a little easy, a little quick. Dexter has just killed Logan. He's still got his blood on him. He's like, let's escape. Let's get out of Dodge. All this stuff. And now he's like, actually, that one sentence you said about like everyone dying because of me, and I had a flashback. There was like a quick 2 seconds of all the characters that died because of me. You're right. I'm a monster. Kill me. Let's end this now. It feels a little easy, a little quick. Maybe I'm just sad that Dexter's dead. Maybe I'm just sad. Who knows? Maybe, a couple of weeks, I've just watched it an hour ago. Maybe I'm just like still too raw on the whole moment. But it felt a bit too easy. It felt quick. It felt rushed. I don't think that it felt properly developed. Maybe we did need 12 episodes, or maybe just like an extra half an hour to kind of, for Dexter to go through a few more emotional beats to get to this point. Maybe they're on the road together and Harrison changes his mind and then we have this confrontation down the road somewhere after a few more scenes have happened. I'm not sure, but it really kind of just felt a bit like, okay, this is the end. And then I'm really expecting something to happen, like someone else to appear with a gun and be like Angel's there. He's like, don't shoot him, Harrison. I need to have the confrontation with him. But Harrison just goes, bang, shoots him in the heart. And Dexter's like, oh, my heart. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Let's say, oh, my heart. Oh, no. Oh. That line Dexter has where it's like, I never truly felt love. Bang. Oh. Until now. I love that he kind of embraces that over that first original 8 seasons, he never really truly felt love. Mostly because there's so many times where he's like, oh, Brash, love conquers all love of Hannah. No, he just said he didn't love you, Hannah. Take that. Oh, she's dead now. It's kind of mean how much I hate her now she's dead. Maybe So the final question. Death penalty. Murder. Escape. We get it. Dexter dies via asking Harrison to kill him. So suicide via his son, Harrison. That's the end of Dexter. I really don't know how I feel about it. I'm super curious what everyone else thinks about it. Finales are really hard. It's always really, really difficult. I mean, bloody hell. Breaking Bad. Every single episode of Breaking Bad, for like 58 episodes or whatever it was just perfect. Perfect cinema, TV, amazing stuff. The finale, I loathed. I hated it. I'll get into that in another video. But it's just, my point is, endings are hard. Endings are really hard. You always just have so much, there's no time to fix it. I had issues with episode 8, then episode 9, it fixed it. There's always time to fix it. I think that's the worst part about Game of Thrones' final season is, all my issues throughout the series, I'm like, but they'll fix it. And sometimes they did, and they didn't. But often they would fix it later on, and they'd recontextualize, and you look back and be like, oh. But once something's ended, once something's done, you can't fix it, you can't change it. That is what happens, that's the end. And especially with a long-running TV series, it's very different to a movie. Where you're like, it's just 90 minutes and it ended, whatever. A TV series, there's so much time to sit with things and do things. And you always kind of feel like, what if you just had another episode? What if you just done this and this? So it's really hard to kind of know what I truly, truly think. But at first, my first reaction is a bit of kind of disappointment. Dexter's just dead. Harrison just killed him. But it's not just that. I do think there are 2 or 3 elements to this final moment that really, really don't work for me. Clyde Phillips, the original season 1 to 4 showrunner, he's back. He's doing New Blood. And he started off, before the season came out, he's like, the ending's shocking, it's satisfying, it's, it's inevitable, but it's going to blow up the internet. It will blow up the internet. I disagree. I don't think this is going to blow up the internet the way you said it was going to. I really feel like you saying that makes you think you've done like a Red Wedding or a Rita's death in season 4 moment. But all you've really done is kill Dexter, which is shocking and you've stopped the series. But I was always under the impression this is a one and done limited series. Lots of people online have said no, there's going to be season 2, this, that. And I was like, oh, maybe I just misread. I can't remember, who cares? But I really do think it works as a one and done season. But I just think the way you've killed him and the certain elements that finish and follow that moment and certain threads that you've left dangling. Angel, so I've got a couple of issues. So, big nay, number 1. Angel and Dexter never have their final confrontation. Angel is in this episode. So Angel appeared in episode 5, and a lot of people were like, oh, don't get your hopes up, he's probably not going to appear again, it's probably just a one-off cameo. And as it built on, I'm like, okay, I accept that. But he's in this episode. Angela calls him, and she's like, it's Dexter, he's alive, he's the Bay Harbour Butcher, come and bloody get him. And he's like, I'm coming to Iron Lakes, I'm coming to Iron Lakes. If Angel had never been in this show, or just in episode 5, I never would have been so angry. It would be like this tiny nitpick where I'm like, it's annoying that he was in episode 5. I really feel like you've put the Chekhov's gun, like Angel's a giant gun on the wall, and you're like, Angel's Chekhov's gun or whatever, so you've got to shoot him. But as episodes went on, I'm like, okay, whatever, nitpick, whatever. He's not coming back. But he's in this episode. He's in the final episode, and he says he's coming to Iron Lakes. So you've not just put Angel up as Chekhov's gun on the wall, you've picked him up and someone's loaded the gun. They've loaded the bullet into Chekhov's gun, that is Angel, and he's on his way. So for the last half of the episode, I'm just sitting there being like, when's he coming? When's he coming? When's he coming? When's he coming? And he's not coming. The fact that Dexter dies with Angel on his way to Iron Lakes, and we never even get like this kind of, because it's a bittersweet moment, the fact that we're going to get this confrontation. So you could have at least played into that, where Angel's like looking over his dead body, and he's like, I never got to have that final word with him. And you had that odd, bittersweet moment of like, oh yeah, I would have loved that. And it's kind of tragic for Angel to not be able to be like, screw you, Dexter, screw you for all this and this and this and this and this and all this stuff. And so it's kind of bittersweet for Angel and the audience. We don't even get that. He's just never has a scene on screen with Dexter. And I'm like, could they not get him to come to the set wherever they're shooting the Iron Lake stuff? Like, is this a COVID thing? If this is a COVID thing, oh, COVID, I'm coming for you, mate. I just find it so frustrating, so infuriating, so annoying, and just, I don't have enough words. I'm not smart enough. I didn't study enough to find all the words in my vocabulary to just explain how annoying it is to me that Angel is in this final episode and they don't have this confrontation. Season 8, they're building up to these moments where he's going to kill someone. I always wanted him to kill Masuka, and then Angel finds out. He's like, why, Dexter? Why are you the Bay Harbour Butcher? And you have this big final moment, and everything comes out, and it's all incredible, like in an interrogation scene, or out in the open in the snow. When Harrison has the gun, why couldn't the Angel come and be like, put it down, Harrison? And it all comes out. And it just, I don't want Angel, the character, to have to go through this, but it's something the show has set up essentially from day one, and I just want it to be paid off. And they literally put it in place so close where he's on his way to Iron Lakes, but Dexter dies before it can happen. It feels like such a waste, such a disgrace, I don't understand the decision at all. I really don't. I honestly think this decision is so dumb and so bad and so terrible. It almost ruins the finale for me. I love so much of this episode. him killing Logan. Yeah, it's not Masuka or someone I absolutely love, or Quinn, or whatever, but it's just like, you're then setting up Angel to come into this situation and be like, how could you, Dexter? How could you? And he's like crying, and Dexter's like, because I'm a serial killer, Angel. Oh, I never loved you, Angel. We were never best friends. I didn't even like bowling. I never even liked bowling with you, Angel. Ha 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 ha. And Angel's like, no! I don't know, man. You get a second chance 10 years later. You set so much up, and then you screw it up again. Your second chance. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fuck you. Seriously. God damn it. Oh, just... I know I'm probably not alone, but I know I'm probably definitely in the minority that this made me so annoyed, so deeply frustrated. I just wanted Angel and Dexter to have this big final confrontation. There are so many shows like this, like The Americans, Breaking Bad, all these kind of things that have this big moment between these two characters. I just don't understand why you set it up and didn't pay it off. Like, set it up twice, he's coming to town, and then just, where's that moment? Where's that moment, show? The interrogation with Angel was good. It was almost great, but it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't just the greatest thing I've ever seen, which is what I wanted from him and Angel. Imagine Angel is there and she leaves the room and she comes back and Angel's there as well, and Dexter's like, oh, and they're there's so much potential. There's so much potential. We were waiting 10 years. How could you do this to me, Clyde Phillips? What the hell? Big nay number 2. Harrison has to leave town? I don't really understand this decision. I feel like I understand the idea and concept where, like, Harrison's driving out of town, he's reading the letter, you hear Dexter's voice, and he's like, and then Harrison, like, ends, he's like, I'm a little teary now, and I'm leaving Iron Lakes to go live a normal life. I'm free of Dexter and the Dark Passenger, and all this stuff, and the idea of it. But, like, in theory that works, but I feel like the character has wanted to find purpose in his life, to find someone that cares about him. And that's his whole anger and issues that Dexter abandoned him. And now Angela is just like, here's some money, take a bus, get out of town, and get out of Dodge. And it's just like, what do you mean? Couldn't have he just pleaded self-defense? Like, I don't understand this at all. You don't know that he was part of Kurt's murder or any of that. Like, he could just lie about that. Like, I know it's like, you know, you don't want to start relationships with lies and all this stuff, but like, whatever. He loves your daughter, he's there in town, he's got friends, all this stuff. I know that his dad killed Logan, so it's a bit like, oh, it's a bit icky, but he killed Dexter. Like, he proved that he's on the town's side, he's on humanity's side in this moment. And so he's now an orphan, a proper orphan forever, and you're going to make him leave, abandoned, alone, and he's driving off, and he's all like, it's like, oh, I'm happy, sad, but I'm leaving. But you should be like, why'd you make me leave? Ah! It really feels like, it's like she's Scar, and he's bloody Simba, and it's like, leave and never come back. And she banishes him from Iron Lakes, like, get out of town! It really just feels like she's like, I actually never really liked that you liked my daughter. I never really liked that. So you're banished! Get out of town, Harrison! Don't understand it. Really confusing. He could have pleaded self-defense. He could have, like, talked to the cops and all this stuff. And I understand the idea, the visual of him leaving town and all the cops are streaming the other way. And there's some really nice imagery and the idea of him looking at all the places that he'll miss, and it's sad and bittersweet and all this stuff. But what the hell? Let him stay. Let him stay with all the friends and his loved ones and all this stuff that, like, he's built up over this time. I feel like making him go live on the streets again is just gonna make, like, him angry and bitter again. Really confusing. I mean, it's a tiny nitpick compared to the Dexter Angel thing, but I just left the season, like, when he's driving off, I'm like, oh, okay. And it cuts to black. And it doesn't cut to the credits straight away. I'm like, oh, Dexter's gonna be alive in hospital, and Angel's gonna come and be like, how dare you, Dexter! Ah! But no, it just cut to the closing credits and he's still driving. And it's like, I really don't know how I feel about this. It's just, on the one half, I love so much of this episode and I absolutely loved episode 9, every single aspect of it. But this just feels like I don't understand so many of the decisions so late in the episode. Like, finales are hard, man. They're really, really hard. Like, oh. I'm super curious though, what does everyone else think? Are these little nitpicks? Are these big issues that you also think are big nays that kind of detract from this season really working as a whole? Clyde Phillips, he just said, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And it's not as bad as, you know, sailing into the hurricane and being reborn a lumberjack and all that trash. And there's so much stuff that works. But, like, you know, that's there and this is there. But is it here? Is it where I wanted it to end? Is it like, you've had 10 years to fix it. You've had so much time to, like, rework and work and rework and work and rework the ideas and the concept and finally get to somewhere. And you set so much up that isn't fully paid off. Which leads me into big nay number 3. No true confirmation that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. Now, this wouldn't really be a complaint if the show ended in any other way, but he's dead. He's dead and gone forever. The show is over. I really think that I wanted the whole world and universe to have confirmation, 100% accurate confirmation he is the Bay Harbour Butcher. I would have loved to have, like, you know, news cycles and this and that, and townsfolk all being like, well, actually, he killed Kurt, and Kurt was a 25-year mass murdering psychopath, and, you know, so I think he's okay. And then other people are like, how dare you? He still killed people. He killed Logan. And they're like, well, I didn't like Logan. He was boring. And they're like, boring's not a crime. In a TV show, boring is a crime. And people have theories and speculation and all that stuff, but theories and speculation are what we had beforehand. Look, we're going to speculate and have theories that he was the Bay Harbour Butcher. I want a proof, concrete proof. So this really, you know, each issue is a nitpick. It gets more nitpicky and more like, whatever. The Angel Dexter one really annoys me. Maybe just the fact that he died. I don't know. It's still so raw, and my emotions are still very high. So maybe I'll change my mind in a week or so. But just right now, I don't think this ending was as satisfying and amazing as I really hoped it would be after episode 9. This really is the ending I kind of feared maybe halfway through the season, where I'm like, I'm sure it's going to be better than season 8, but will it be the season finale I want? And what I want is obviously not what everyone else wants, so I really want to know everyone else's big yays, big nays. What did you really want to happen? Did it happen? And if it didn't happen, explain in full detail what you want to happen. Comment below. I'd love to know. Alright, now all the juicy, amazing material is done and dusted and we're all done with all that stuff, time for some completely and utterly tiny little nitpicks. Nitpick number 1. Where the hell did Yellow Eyes go? The rich billionaire guy, played by Yellow Eyes from Supernatural. Where'd he go? Was he just a red herring? He was only in the first 3 episodes and he's all like, I'm sus. Maybe you think I'm the masked serial killer sniper man, but I'm not. Haha, it's Kurt. I know it's Kurt. You announced that Kurt was playing the serial killer before the season came out. And I could see his eyes every time. He's wearing a mask, but I could see his eyes. That actor's famous. I knew it was him. Your red herring didn't work for a second. Was he the accomplice, though? Was he the accomplice? Last week, Kurt was like, oh yes, it was just me. And some people in my comments were like, ooh, what if? Yellow Eyes is in on it too. Oh, how exciting. When Angelo was in the trophy bunker looking around, I'm like, Yellow Eyes is going to appear. And he's like, it's 2 serial killers this year. Ha, we got you. And I thought that would be so exciting. Especially when I thought there was going to be maybe a second season. I thought, oh, having Yellow Eyes come in and having a serial killer, that's like 2 serial killers, but having that arc of the one, you know, serial killer murderers arcing over 2 seasons would be really interesting. But obviously, that didn't happen. Dexter's dead. It's all done forever, ever. Tonight's the night, and it's never happening again and again. You know, that whole thing. So, Yellow Eyes, is he going to appear? Is he going to be the accomplice? Is it going to be this little thing that pops its little Yellow Eyes head? No, he's just not in it. He was just a red herring. He was just in a few episodes. Where'd he go? Once again, if this is a bloody COVID thing, I'm going to lose my mind, because I don't understand why he wasn't in the rest of the series. Feels just like one of the many side characters at the start of the series that was in the first few episodes to be like, it's a little town, and we've got characters, it's all like Fargo, Twin Peaks, but he's not in it again. At least all the other characters were in the finale at the start where it's like, look at all my fun little townsfolk. So I don't understand. What a waste of an amazing actor, just really disappointing, don't understand it, boo. So Kurt, the serial killer, the masked sniper man, never really got a proper serial killer name, like the Trinity Killer, Doomsday, or the Ice Truck Killer. Not a flashy newspaper headline title. We never got that, and so I have come up with my own. I think like Masked Gunman, or the Sniper, or the Masked Sniper, all that, they're fine, if not bad names. So, everyone, drum roll. We should all now refer to him as the Doll Maker. I hope I'm not the only one that got shivers then. I think that's a really good name because he preserves them all like dolls in boxes, like they're dolls you don't take out of the boxes so they, you know, add wealth to them or whatever, you know, like collectors and stuff. And I really like the idea that he's doing that like as a collection. It's really gross, disgusting, awful. That reveal was terrifying. It kind of elevated him beyond what he was into something much more sinister and horrific. And so I think, yeah, he should be referred to as the Doll Maker. I think that works. You can imagine them and the Iron Lakes newspaper being like, serial killer, the Doll Maker, has 25 victims in his trophy bunker room. And, you know, you can imagine that. It's better than just being like, Kurt Caldwell is the masked sniper. Boo! Boring! I want a flashy doomsday, you know, title. And so, yeah, Doll Maker. Let's bloody make that hashtag Kurt Caldwell is the Doll Maker. Or whatever. You don't have to hashtag it. Just spread it to your friends. Let's get it through the community. I think that's a great title. I'm super curious if people think that's a good title, or if you're like, you're a bit up your own ass there, Jack, so maybe wind it back. And suggest your own serial killer names for him. I'd love to hear them. I'd really love to hear some really great, amazing, different ideas. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all the YouTube-y things, and please, comment below. Let me know, was this a big yay, a big nay? What were your favourite moments? What were your least favourite moments? Did New Blood fix Dexter Season 8? Did it not fix Season 8? Did you dislike this more than Season 8? I mean, you can't possibly. I mean, maybe you did! Just let me know. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts. Oh, so much emotion, so much excitement and terror and sadness and disappointment. So much. I mean, this finale did a lot. It did and said a lot, and it's just crazy to think that now Dexter is actually dead, so we can't in 10 years have another season of Dexter. There's no Dexter New Blood Season 2. What did you love to see a Season 2? Did you want a Season 2, 3, 4? Like, what did you want? Are you happy this is a one and done limited series? I just love to know what everyone else thinks. And if you're jonesing for some more Dexter content, I'm probably going to release a couple of videos about Kurt and Angela and a few other elements of the show. And I've just released my Ranking the Serial Killers of Original Dexter video. Bloody check it out. I give all my analysis and deep thoughts on all the serial killers of Dexter, and a little bit of, cheeky sprinkling of the whole show throughout as well. I'd love you to check that out and bloody, oh boy. What a day. I don't even know what to do with myself for the rest of the day. I'm just going to be sitting there like, oh, Dexter's over. What do I do with my life?